Hello, I'm Dr. Neesa Mills, founder of Creative Feminine Rising and the lead author of Call of the Mystical Mountain. And I have with me right now Ayelet Segal, one of the authors, contributing authors to this beautiful collection of stories that speaks to people's transformational experiences because of Mount Shasta, the mystical mountain, as we have dubbed her for this book title. And Mount Shasta is a place that is carrying a frequency for the new earth. And Ayelet has a very particular relationship and journey with Mount Shasta. And I know that you say in your chapter that Mount Shasta completely changed your life. And I know you're a teacher and a guide and a leader. In fact, I know that you have started a whole community in your country of Israel because of your relationship with Mount Shasta. And I just can't wait for you to share some of that with the listeners here. So let's go back. What happened for you? Was it 15 years ago or something like that when you first visited Mount Shasta?
Yes, definitely 15 years ago. The time goes so fast, and I'm so happy to be with you here today at your beautiful program and to be a part of this magical book. And each time a new book coming to the air, it's like a celebration in the higher dimension for all the readers and all the magic that coming out from the frequency from the book. It's like you open it and it's magic. And
I
this
just,
is how I feel. Yes, you open and it's sparkling outside there. Mount Shasta, it's a very special place, a portal, open portal. And in the last 15 years, I was learning so much from my journey, a spiritual journey in Mount Shasta. And for me, Mount Shasta, it's a home for my Lemurian soul. And for me, Mount Shasta, it's the door gate for a light city that a lot of us familiar by the name of Telos, connection with the spirit. And this was my path to connect it to Mount Shasta, like I'm from Israel. It's so far away. I was raised in a house where there is no God. And my father and mother both come from the farmering and teaching and very practice third dimension area. So there was no talking about God and even about the Judaism. I didn't know so much. I just learned after I know Telos and the high spirit from Telos and the high priest Adama. I even learned more about the Jewish religious and mystical Judaism. So Mount Shasta is very, very secret. And when I came there 15 years ago, I had my enlightenment up on the mountain. And I was familiar with Telos thanks to Aurelia Louise Jones. She was the first one that opened the gate for Telos Light City with Diane Robbins, both of them. Beautiful soul. And when I hold the Telos book in my hand and read it, I felt immediately my body is changing. My heart was open and I start to have a voice that telling me, when you're going to be 35, your life going to be changed and you're going to be on this mountain. And at the time I was a school teacher, just as I am today, 20 years for the junior high. And I had 3 young boys. And I was listening to this voice, but it was not so, I was teaching. So then I have a family in Los Angeles, and at the same just couple of months before my birthday, my uncle sent me a ticket. He said, Ayelet, we have a wedding in Los Angeles. I want you and your mom to come. And I said, this is the gift from the universe for me to come to Mount Shasta. So I went to Los Angeles, put my mom and go all over to Mount Shasta. Is already, we sent from Israel, me and another friend, a letter to have a permission to have a light unit in Israel for Telos. So we sent the letter for Aurelia and for Victoria Lee. I think Aurelia wasn't alive at the time already. So to Victoria and William, and they make meditation. They were looking for our bodies, and they got a channel from the high priest Adama, and that showed them that we are going to be the representative in Israel, in the Middle East. And we know Israel and the Middle East, it's a very tough neighborhood for the planet Earth, very tough.
Yeah. Wow.
And yes, and so I just went to Mount Shasta and met Victoria and William, and they just showed me the mountain, make me ascension ceremony. It was so special. And then Victoria said to me, okay, now go up to the mountain. It was snowing, 18th of February. This is my birthday. And I was so happy just to be away on this beautiful mountain. First time I saw snow in my life, I was just so cheerful. I was 35, I was a kid, I didn't know nothing. So I just go up to the mountain and I sit and make my meditation very slowly. And when I get the bright light coming to my body, I was so fast, just go out of my body. And I saw this huge dragon coming to me, huge dragon. So I just sat on him and I will start to fly all around this amazing mountain. I think it was the process about releasing everything for me.
Mm.
And the dragon take me inside of the mountain, deeper and deeper and deeper. I was out of my body and I was coming to the light city of Telos. He took me to one of the temple. It was a golden, beautiful temple. I will never forget it. With a golden chair, and I was sitting on it. They said to me, "This is your chair, please sit." And I was like, just see everything like I see you now, everything was open up and I see Adama and the masters and the king and the queen, and they bless me and they start to talk to me. And this was my meeting with Telos. And
Wow.
yes, it was very powerful. I was at my body, I didn't, there was so much light coming to me. I was like having this huge, in 1 minute, all my body was like with so much light. And I felt the chakra of the heart like breaking down, like some bones moving, like everything was opening so fast. And I remember I make a commitment and I said, I'm commitment to open the heart for Lemuria, to bring back the memory of Lemuria. Like I was talking to God and he said to me, or Adama, and he said to me, you make your commitment, so you will go it back to Israel. You will see all of this is true. After 3 boys, you will get a gift from Telos, a girl, a daughter.
Wow.
Yes, and
Well,
when I get back to Israel after 1 week, I was pregnancy.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right. I think you told me that before, and that's when you got your daughter, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a couple things I just want to clarify for those of us listening who don't have a context for Mount Shasta. And you're talking about Telos, which is known as an inner Earth city in another dimension inside of Mount Shasta herself. And this being you reference as a Dhamma is considered to be the high priest of this ancient civilization that is linked to Lemuria. So what is your sense of your relationship with Lemuria? You said you felt like you were coming home to that part of you and that you are tasked with carrying forward some of the resonance and the consciousness of that timeline.
Well, Lemuria, it's an ancient land, a huge one. It was in the Pacific Ocean. A lot of the souls, ancient souls on this planet, in these days, I'll get back to the memory of this ancient land. It was like Eden energy. It was a beautiful connection between the highest energy and the land for this planet. And there was a time that there was a decision to take Lemuria, like Lemuria was sinking because some of situation on the planet, we will not get to it now with Atlantis. And when Lemuria was sinking, so there was the priest over there, they said, okay, we want to hold all the ancients' memory from what we brought to this land, and we would like to support for all the humanity to rise up for the fifth dimension and to make the ascension. We would like to be in the right timing to support the humanity. So they asked from the inner earth, the Shambhala, to make a light city by the name of Telos for this position. And the Shambhala said, okay. And then we went and we find Telos and we build Telos step by step in the higher dimension. So what it's mean that, like, I'm a geography and history teacher. So if you will come to Mount Shasta and you will dig, you will see a beautiful volcano. But if you will make inside of yourself the process for the make integration for the higher dimension, then the gate for Telos will be open for you. So Telos is exist. And you know what's so beautiful? It's that I met so many people during these 15 years from all over this planet, and they all experience the same beautiful Telos. They can go through the gate with their own imagination. They see what they own see. I just lead them and open the gate, and boom, it's over there, and they experience Telos in so beautiful passion and love and beautiful energy. So it's magic. It's magic.
Yeah, I agree. It is absolutely magic. So you had this experience, like the first you read about Telos in a book and you had an activation. And then you went to the mountain and had this huge awakening experience. And how do you feel like you changed as a result of that? Your regular life.
Well, at first when I came back to Israel, it was very hard for me because I was like in this higher dimension and I needed to be grounded again, to go back to earth, to my kids, to my family. And I remember in the first years, Adama was making a meeting in Telos like every day. I was coming every day to this room. This is my Telosian room. I will show you later. And I was sitting connected to Adama, and he was giving me this teaching about how to bring the knowledge from Telos, because Telos it's a community that holding the frequency of pure love. And how can we keep this pure love out there in the real world with the children, with the husband, at school, with my mom? Pure love and to take out all the anger and guilty. And we have so much in us from all the other lifetimes. So I would just got this knowledge from Adama and slowly build workshop and courses and we start to build a Telos community, a model of Telos community here in Israel. We have more than 10,000 people and it's global community. There is a Telos organization in every place on the planet, in Australia, in Japan, in Brazil, in Canada, just name it. So I learned how to practice all the Telos codes, all the Telos teaching, and to open through my Lemuria heart. And when you practice and practice and practice, then the magic happened. And then it's happened with my kids at school, and there was magic all over. So I understand it's a way of living and how to bring the fifth dimension to my regular life, especially in a place like Israel, that we're dealing with death and with war and with so much tense. So we from Israel, we make a bridge to Mount Shasta. And during these 15 years, I take so many people back and forward. So they're going back to Shasta, they get the energy, they're going back to Israel, and we're making a lot of healing in Israel for unity between everything that happened to here from Jerusalem. And we make a lot of energetic work in here. So Elos was helping a lot.
That's so beautiful. beautiful turn of events. And excuse me a sec. You basically came back from this first visit and you started an organization, and now you have 10,000 people in Israel who are tapped into Telos and the Lemurian frequencies, and then you take groups and take some of these people back to Shasta regularly. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so beautiful. Yeah. So one of the questions that I love to talk about is the new earth. So the subtitle of this book is called Mount Shasta and the Emerging New Earth. And we all have a sense of something brewing, and the astrology is telling us that there is this window of great opportunity for transformation right now on the planet. And in fact, on the 22nd, on Earth Day, I'm going to be offering a free gathering online, which I'll let you know about, called it's with the New Earth Generator, which is a piece of geometry that I channeled through the mountain, Telos specifically. And there'll be music and people gathering to hold a frequency, which I know that you're doing that with your groups in a different kind of a way already. But let's just talk about this concept of the new earth, and Mount Shasta and the relationship between Mount Shasta and what's we are feeling emerging in our bodies and our souls for the planet.
Well, for me, Mount Shasta is the most open portal in the planet for now. And we know that there is so many portals that have been opened up. And in the last 15 years, the High Priest Adama show me all the time the open portal that we need to go there in the planet. So during the year, we've been in a take group to Egypt, to Giza, to Maui, Hawaii, to the pyramid in Mexico. Now it just came from the Uluru, and each one of the portal has a special energy, and then we making a special activation that it's open it up and bring the light all together. So all the planet Earth now is going to be lighted for the next path we are all going through. And Adama speak a lot when he bring me the energy and the messages between 25 and 2050. This is the big shift and the big change. The inner earth and whatever you see with the holy geometry, it's beautiful because all the inner earth is now waking up for more and more people above the surface to be connected, because under each one of the portal, like under the Giza, there is the light city. Under the Uluru, there is the magenta flame light city. Under the Mexico, under Mount Sinai, Mount Moses, there is the turquoise flame with Sanat Komera that bring the peace and the harmony. So we know there is new flames that coming above the surface, and from the inner earth, more and more light cities have been waking up, and they are more and more want to be connected with us. So when they see an open body like yours that can have the knowledge and the energy, we call it channeler. So you start to get the energy that you can bring out there to the people, and through this energy, you can be open up and bring the knowledge for more people, because the new humanity is already ready for the next path. And the new humanity is the youngest, the crystal children. So we can see there is older, it's a new generation coming up. And even in Mount Shasta, I can see in the last 15 years, the elders that been the old keeper of Mount Shasta go away. And I see the new old gatekeeper of Mount Shasta being ready up to be in a position. I can see the new energies shifting. So it's very interesting. And one of the most powerful portal that we are making so many connected to Mount Shasta, it's Jerusalem in the 8th dimension. And Jerusalem with the master Metatron and Melchizedek, they're working together in Mount Shasta, in Jerusalem, in more places, because they are not human beings. so they can be all over. So Mount Shasta, it's making her new path, her new energy, like raising up. It's like finishes circulation and it's coming to a new energy. You remember when there was in the mountain, the fires in
Sure.
2019, there was huge fire on the mountain.
Yeah.
So this was a part of the changing that the mountain has been passed and going through. And I was familiar with the energy in 2012, then in 2019, and then in the last 2024. I see how the energies was like high, then it's go down, then the mountain cleaning self, it was high again. And now it's higher. So I feel the change of the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
So what would you tell someone who's never been to Mount Shasta just about, the potential for their own lives, whether they physically go there or they just tune in and meditate with a guide or the mountain herself, or just simply reading this book? What's possible?
well, I think the mountain just bringing for each one what he can have. So we come into the mountain and each one experience what he get from his heart in the right place, the right timing, the right people. I just will say what my friend Victoria used to tell me, just no expectation. Release any expectation and just go and flow with the wind and listen to the wind of the mountain. Just go with your heart. And when we are listening to the wind, our body just move. They guide us. They like, go here, you need to meet this. You know how we used to make in Berryville, we make cosmic meeting all the time. You go into Berryville and then boom, you meet this and you meet that and you meet everybody in the store of the food Berryville, you remember?
Yeah, the grocery store. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Grocery. So I say Berryville, it's an open portal. Every time I go there, I have cosmic meeting with the people I need to meet.
Yeah.
So it's like this is Mount Shasta. This is Mount Shasta.
Yeah. Yeah. Very special place, as you know. I lived there for 4 years and I'm currently on another assignment right now on the East Coast of the United States. So I do feel like there is something so profound in the potential of activating us to our new level of potential, whatever that is for each individual. And one of the things I had an intention of in this book, because it's not channeled material like most of the books are about Mount Shasta, but it's rather personal stories. And I think the reader can understand that there's a lot of different ways that the mountain can uh, touch our hearts and transform us and help us expand our perception to new levels of our own consciousness. And sometimes that is about connecting to Telos, and for other people, it's just the land and being with the trees, and maybe, they're encountering other spirits that will show up, or the beings of the land. That was a really big piece for me there, is really getting in touch with the spirits of the trees and other elementals. It was a very deep experience of my own expansion.
Yeah.
So that now I'm in North Carolina and I have a sensory perception that I didn't have, some years ago. And now I get to play in those fields here in the mountains, the Great Smoky Mountains, which is also a very potent place. It's I feel like this area has been a little bit asleep in terms of its full potential. So I guess that's part of the work, that many of us are doing. And I'm making a parallel here too, to you bringing the essential nature of Mount Shasta to Israel, which the whole world knows is a place in such deep need. And maybe you could address how you see, the land of Israel. Of course, it is known as, a holy place where, Yeshua, Jesus Christ, walked, and his mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. And there's probably way more than I even understand, but I would love for you to just speak to that, the potency of the land where you are and its healing process.
So, I was born in Israel in a beautiful place and 25 minutes from Tel Aviv, very natural. I always live in the nature. But when I came first to Mount Shasta and I put my leg on the mountain without shoes, what I usually do, I felt my roots coming out very, very deep to the land. And all my memory was coming up like I'll become native. And I get remember about all my other life as a native in this land. And I just know my legs take me. I know where to go. I know all the trail. I never take a tour guide. I always just go and talk with the tree. And each tree in Mount Shasta, they are alive. They're speaking to you. They hug you. It's like everything alive in Mount Shasta. And when I'm going back to Israel, my home, so Israel, it's a desert place. And we have beautiful tree, and the north is beautiful, but it's different, totally different energy. So I do make a lot of traveling in Israel because I'm a tour guide and I love to travel since I was young. So I know all the trail in Israel too. And a lot of the masters that we talk about in Shasta, like Senanda, that was Jesus, like El Moria, that was Abraham, like Saint Germain, that was Shmuel. In the other lifetime, all the masters was here in Israel. And I was walking in Israel, Hilarion, making his enlightenment in the desert here after he was 20 years in the desert, and then he got the energy and he got what he know how to heal. So we start to make a lot of journey here in Israel with our Telos group. We make a lot of retreat in the desert, in the north. There is so many portal. A lot of the time we're going to Jerusalem and we bring the teaching from Senanda, Jesus, from Lady Nada, from Mother Maria, Miriam. And we always make the connection between the high brotherhood, the masters, the rose sisterhood, the feminine energy, and we make the connection between the east to the west and to all the beautiful planet. So I think, the word that's coming up to me lately, it's unity. Unity, because in Israel we very split now because of the war, and we split because of, the Arabs and the Jewish, and everybody wants unity. The people wants unity. Nobody wants war. I have so many friends, they are Arabs, and I love them. And I have so many friends that are Christians or Buddhism, and I love them. So I think it's all about energy. So when we make the bridge between Mount Shasta and when the people, the author that write this book come to Mount Shasta, each one of the authors brought his own story, energy, frequency, but what make everybody connected to the mountain is the heart. Everybody fall in love with Mount Shasta, and everybody felt this passion and love and was waking up. So they speak from their guts, from the soul. And this was what's so beautiful, how the unity, you can see it in the book. All the colors, all the aspect, everything is in one book that bring the story of Mount Shasta.
So I just thank you again. I'm just grateful that you heard the call to join us. And you'd already written 3 books about Mount Shasta. I can drop the information in the bio below this video if people want to seek out some of your books. And maybe some information about your organization that you're running and trips to Mount Shasta that you're guiding. And it's really rich. I'm really touched by your journey, Ayelet. It's quite beautiful. And that you took an experience that you had and just became completely unleashed with your sharing to the world that is in such deep need of this kind of healing and blessings.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to say before we sign off?
Well, definitely. First of all, thank you so much. And I know really Mount Shasta, it's really changed my life. And I can talk about the mountain and this experience that bring the spirituality so much. And for me, I think I'm kind of a messenger, not messenger, represent, like, because I'm in the Middle East, and we talk and we pray so much about the peace. So I want to invite everybody. We have one each month. We have in the Telos family, Telos World family in the Facebook. We have a global praying that each one from all the planet pray. We make pray from Aurelia Louise John 7 Secret Flames books. And it's so beautiful. It's in all kind of languages. And one of the time, each time we make it, so people text in where they're from and da 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 da. And they know I'm from Israel. And one time, this lady, she texts me, "Hey, I'm from Iran." And she was in our praying. So it was so touched for me that the light being from Iran, that, like, the story between Israel and Iran. So this is always showed for me the peace and the hope for the peace. So we are the people are in one unity, in one heart. And for me, this is the heart from Lemuria that is open up above any religious, above anything. It's all about love. So this is Mount Shasta, and it's helped me a lot, especially in these last 2 years that we have very challenging days in Israel.
Yeah.
So thank you for the opportunity that you opened the door for this beautiful book and to meet people, and I'm looking forward to hold this book. I invite him from Amazon. I saw it not in the physical, but now I want to have it in the physical too. And for more friends here in Israel that are waiting for the books, we make a big order, and I invite everybody to read this beautiful book.
Yeah, yeah. The idea was definitely to have it be a transmission for people so that they could read it and find their own connection and activation to these holy high frequencies that Mount Shasta is so good at bringing. And who knows what'll happen? Look what happened to you. It's incredible. Yeah,
It is.
yeah, incredible. All right. Well, big blessings to you and to all our listeners here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Be peace.